The deepest mystery of existence is the phenomenon of knowledge. You can know everything except your own self. The knower cannot be known because to know something means to reduce it to an object. The very process of knowledge depends on duality. I can know you because I am here, inside, and you are there, outside. You become an object, but I cannot know myself because I cannot make myself an object. I cannot encounter myself in any objective way. I cannot put myself in front of me. And if I could put myself in front of me, then that which is put in front of me would not be myself. How can that which can be put in front of me be myself? Really, the inner one which will look at it will remain myself. Self is subjective, and this subjective cannot be made objective. Hence, the paradox. That which knows all cannot know itself. That which is the source of all knowledge remains unknowable. If you can understand this, then this sutra will reveal much. This is one of the most profound sutras. It goes deeper than all that the mystics have said. It says self knowledge is impossible. You have heard it has been teached, it has been told everywhere. Know thyself, but how can you know yourself? You can know everything other than you. One point will always remain unknown, unknowable. That point is you. The word self knowledge is not good at all. Knowledge of the self is not possible. But this may create a deep pessimism in you. If knowledge of the self is not possible, then the whole of religion becomes absurd because this is what religion is meant to do, to give you self knowledge. Then there must be some other meaning of to the word self knowledge. Then there must be something, a hidden dimension through which you can know the self and still not make it an object. Knowledge must be possible in an altogether different sense. In the world, whatsoever we know is subjective, and the subject remains unknowable. The knower remains unknowable, but can this knower be known? This is the basic question, the basic problem. If there is only one way of knowing, that of objective knowledge, then it can be known. Hence, all the scientific thinkers will deny that the self exists. Their denial is meaningful. All those who are trained to think in terms of objectivity will say there is no self. Scientists go on saying that there is no self, that man is a mechanism, and that what appears to be consciousness is just an epiphenomenon, a byproduct. They say that there is no self, there is no center, that consciousness comes into existence just through chemical phenomenon, and when the body wither away, consciousness disappears. So, for science, death is total death. Nothing remains after it. Consciousness is not substantial. It is a byproduct. It cannot exist without the body. It is part of the body, just a combination of many material things. It comes into being. It is not elementary. It is a compound, a combination, a synthesis, something which depends on other things. There is no self. Science says there is no self because the self cannot be known. The very word science means knowledge, and if something is unknowable, science will not approve of it. Science will not agree to it. Science means that which can be known. Only then is science not mystical. It cannot fall into absurdities. For science, the very word self knowledge is absurd. But still, religion is meaningful because there is another dimension of knowing. Try to understand that dimension of knowing that the known is not reduced to an object. For instance, if a lamp is burning in dark room, everything in the room is lit, is known through the light of the lamp. But the lamp is also known by its own light. Everything else, chairs, furniture, the walls, paintings on the walls, they are known through the light. But through what is the light itself known? The light is self-enlightening. Just by its presence of reveals other and it reveals itself also. But these two revelations are different. When the chair is known through the chair is an object. The light falls on it and the light disappears. The chair cannot be known. The knowledge of the chair depends on the light, but the knowledge of the light itself does not depend on the chair. If you remove everything, the light will still be light. There will be nothing to reveal, but it will go on revealing itself. The revelation of the light is self revelation. Similar is the case with the inner phenomenon, the inner self. Everything is known through it, but it itself is known not by anything else. It is a self revealing phenomenon. It reveals itself. Self knowledge does not mean that the self is known by something else, because then the something else will be the self. So, whatsoever is known in an objective way cannot be the self. Always the knower will be the self. But how can this self be known? The self is a self evident, self revealing phenomenon. Nothing else is needed to know it. You need not reduce it to an object.